I know you just put up to the bar, but we close.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man. I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to her. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Tell you what. I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really yeah.
Hey man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of our things I want to brought to you by is Go Green. This is a garbage company doing a lot of great things, and one of the things I'm going to tell you is they got me, and what I'm trying to do is great customer service. Yes. I'm not just trying to do the minimum. I'm trying to do the most. Yes. And a lot of times when you call me, I'm going to try to tell you what can size you might need. I might even do a site visit. I'm willing to do the things that other people ain't doing no more. I do a door-to-door. I do what is necessary because, again, I know what it is to get your business, and I want to know I know how to keep your business, and that's what we do over here at Go Green. Yeah. So let's give it a call and give us a try. Now, I got to get back to this person been rocking with me over 8 years. Y'all just don't understand why he come in with the smile that he do. So let's ask him, Cravmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
I'm doing well, Smooth J. Doing well, man. Just groovy well. Gravy. You know what I mean? Just taking it one day at a time. Staying focused in life, man. Having a little fun here and there.
I like that.
Got a few setbacks going on here and there as
There's a few.
But doing well, man. Doing well. I keep a vision of my life in general. And that general mindset just say, hey, the kids are doing well, and right. I'm doing well, and I'm alive today, and let's do something better for the Lord tomorrow, So I'm doing great, man. Doing great. How you doing, Smooth J?
Man, let me tell you, man, I'm very blessed because, again, man, I get to be around my mom, and we spend a lot of time together. Yeah. And she has pains, and she go through things because I can't mention her age, but she up there, older than me for sure. So when she go through some things, I always see how she kind of get past them, and she always seen a positive look. You be like, Mom, you need to, she'd be like, no, baby, I got to do this on my own now. Some things I just got to do. All right. And I'll be like, well, Mom,
you got to do.
You don't have to worry about now. You got me, boy. Stop. I got to do it. Way before you, I had me. and you hear it, you be like, but Mom, you got me now. She be like,
that's
you just don't
wisdom.
Understand. If I relied on you, then I wouldn't be as strong as I am today.
Right.
I have to go through some things to pull you and make you see that I can get through. And that way you'll be able to understand what you gonna need to do. And when she talk like that, man, it's just like a ball of wisdom.
Yeah,
and
man.
And then the pain I had to go through is like my knee just start aching me. And again, I ain't know why I didn't do no crazy move or nothing, but all of a sudden it started aching me. But I watched her and she had the same kind of issue. So of course she looked at me, she said, now you know how some things feeling, but I promise you, the more you keep living, the more you'll feel like I feel. You just got to keep on dealing. So again, it's all good.
It reminds me of a poem that I learned when I was online. It says, be strong, be strong. We are not here to play, dream, or drift. We have hard work to do and loads to lift. Shun not the struggle, for it is God's gift. Be strong, be strong. And that shun not the struggle is that, I love your mother's attitude when she's basically owning the fact that, okay, I'm in pain, I'm in discomfort, but I'm gonna fight through it. And I'm gonna get through it on my own because I don't want somebody always having to help me. Right. So let me find a way to make this work. And there's a lot of that as you age, right? There's a lot of that. You think about going from your 60s to 70s and 70s to 80s, you slow down a little bit. And to own many of those changes that are taking place in your life and in your body is a next level living.
Yes, it is.
People who have to live with pain, that's a different, if you've never lived with pain, that's a different lifestyle. That's a completely different way of managing your attitude, and how much you get done and being productive in life. And that's exactly kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. Increasing your personal productivity. How do you increase your personal productivity? Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Yes.
This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay
in the building.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a great dialogue. We're just going to chop it up on the subject. Mm-hmm. And as we do, there's some magical things that begin to happen. Understanding and more questions and a deeper discussion happens over and over. We've done hundreds of these shows. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like as you talk about it, something good comes out, something that you can hold on to. And so we're hoping that you're able to grasp whatever that is for you that comes out of this show and be able to move on to increase your personal productivity. Mm-hmm. And of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
Oh, yeah. Get on, man.
So let's just pray over the topic. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence just to thank you once again for who you are in our life.
Yes.
You are our strength. You are our peace. You are our life. You are our love. You are our everything. And so we're asking, Heavenly Father, that how do we in this body, in this flesh, how do we get more out of life? How do we increase our personal productivity? Inspire us tonight, Heavenly Father, on the right action steps and the right ideas and the right tools and resources to be able to get more out of this life. Mm-hmm. There are many of us, Lord, who are only living life at 30%, 30% effectiveness or 50 or 60% effectiveness. All we need to do, Lord, is just get another 20% out of life, and our whole life joy and our whole life productivity increases. How do we make that happen? Inspire us with your intelligence and your wisdom and your know-how and your understanding. Give us that right action and that right understanding, Heavenly Father. We just ask that you would be here to speak through us as hosts. Let this be a grand and awesome show, and one that you would be very proud of. I pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh my goodness.
Amen. What is one of the greatest questions we can ask in life? Lord, how do I do better?
Let me tell you, it's
how do I get more out of this?
A lot of times it comes when you have less and when you're not where you want to be. It usually a time where sometimes you're on a down, but you want to up. And I like to say you want to make a change in your life for better. And a lot of times you got to go through some things before you understand that you're not where you really want to be. And these are them times that you got to go to the Lord with the understanding of you. You have a desire, okay? And that desire has to align with what he has for you. And you have to have faith in what he has along with your abilities, because he gives you a secret ability. And the secret is for you to give the world when you're ready. And it's going to take you time to get ready. So a lot of time we do things and we be like, I'm not deserving. Well, that's why he gave his son. Because again, you just don't see it and you don't believe it. Because the world will have you fooled. The world will make you feel like you're nothing. And that's the saddest thing in the world, because you see somebody achieving more than you. Don't let that fool you. You have a gift and you have something that you give in the world. Because I've been around some people that's handicapped and they seem to move flawlessly when they're in a position that you would feel like, well, they can't even do anything because they're missing some parts. The problem is, see, you're so caught on what they're missing that you don't understand what they can achieve. And that's why you're not successful, because you're too busy looking at everybody else and not even looking at yourself. So when you start deep diving in what your gift is or what you feel, you will start realizing there's some things that you like and there's some things that you can do better. Because a lot of time people say, well, how did you know your gift? Well, a lot of time I didn't. I had no clue. I had a gift to make some people laugh. I was able to speak on certain subjects very strongly, and I was opinionated. Okay. I don't think that was just my main gifts. And then I found out I had a drive, and that drive was strong. And I will work to almost fall and pass out. I mean, I am just driven, and I believe in some competition, but my drive is just kind of like different. And again, when I start seeing other people with their drives, I start trying to tweak my own. And you got to feed your drive. One, you got to stay healthy, and you got to understand where you're going and what you're trying to do. Then you align that into your spiritualness of where you really want to go and how you want to be tweaked. And then you want to stay in the guideline of righteousness. Now, I don't have to be wrong in what I do. I don't have to do bad things. I can stay in alignment. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, as I pray, I'm starting to look at my prayer. My prayer is a lot differently. I'm praying for more understanding. Then I'm starting to demand. And this is something that just you really got to get into your spiritualness on this one. I am speaking I am pushing for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking like I deserve this. This is something that I need to be doing. And what I've noticed, some of these things don't come exactly that way. All right. But it comes in a way that it still aligns me to get that position and where I need to be.
That's a spiritual walk. I'm hearing
it is. And it's a strong one that I had to change up and start doing more of compared to this, depending on circumstance.
And listen, I think that's a great place to begin this discussion. And you covered several things, as you always do, Jay. But one way to increase your productivity is that you got to stop realizing that life doesn't happen through osmosis.
Mm-hmm.
Life happens through reaching for what you want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to reach. And you notice he said, I wasn't always doing this, but now I'm starting to demand, right? That's a certain intensity that I'm, not only do I just want this thing now, I'm calling it forth. I declare it. I demand it. You hear the attitude shift, right? And I think that's a great way to consider getting more out of life is you got to be more intense about what you want. You got to have a burning desire, a fire in your spirit for what you want, that you got to be relentless. There is no failure. There can be no setbacks. No hurdles can stop you. You can climb any wall. You're going to have this thing. You see yourself with it. You believe yourself can have it. You deserve it. You gotta have this intense spirit about you to get the thing that you want. I'm in the background, folks. You can't see. There's a TV on, and we watching the Falcons play the New Orleans Saints right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta know that those guys' entire career, every guy that's on the field right now, they've spent every day of their life thinking about being a pro ball player.
Mm-hmm.
They started when they was 6, 7, and 8 years old in Little League, and they played the Mighty Mites and the Tiny Mites and the midgets and on up into the high school. They played in the college field. Like some of them went to the Canadian League and came back. Some of them was walk-ons when they was late in life. But listen, they commanded life.
Mm.
And they would not be standing on that field right now if they didn't have that sense of command. The command is that I want to be the best, and I want to be on that field, and I want to be well paid, and I want to be the top of my game.
Yep.
That's their mindset. If you are on that field, on that TV right now, there's no other way to get there except for that mindset.
That's right.
You got to have a mindset of success that will produce more behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It will produce more action. You'll rather than thinking about calling the man to get some help, you'll pick up the phone and call him, and then you'll be figuring out what you're gonna do because of what he done said.
Mm-hmm.
You see
that
when you have that burning desire for something, you'll get the thing done. You won't belabor on it. You won't lounge on it. You won't wait till next week or next month or next year to get it done. You'll get it done right now. I can't think of a more powerful way to get more out of life.
And it is.
Than to just begin commanding life. Get intense about it.
It motivates you. It gives you a self-motivation that you're really going to need. Yeah. Because again, the command is just the thought. Now I have to put down the action. So now that I demanded it, okay, now I'm reaching to the spiritual realms and I'm saying that this is what it need to be. Now I got to line that with action. And this is where you really get that drive. This is where you still start getting that train to start going down that track because I commanded it. Now, you can't just sit on that. you got to move on that. Now I'm moving,
That's
and
right.
as I'm moving, I'm noticing things are starting to line.
But see,
As I go down, I'm
that's
starting
right.
to get more input. I'm starting to get more
Listen,
knowledge.
you said something so powerful, this absolutely profound. He said things just start happening.
Mhm.
See, there's a synchronicity that is taking place as a result of your own spirit. It operates in a mathematical and mechanical equation to your own spirit. When you demand something to happen, something about your spirit causes it to start taking place right before your very eyes. It's not magic. It's not, abstract. It's not untouchable. It is a spiritual power that we have. We must command healing of our body. We must command that our business are successful. We must command safety and security and health and harmony for our children. We must command safe travels from here to there. We must command prosperity to go into our bank accounts. We must command our spirit to be full of faith and no longer full of fear. We must cast out fear and speak down to it and cut it out of our lives. We must know that we are overcomers. Do you hear the passion that's coming through my spirit right now? That's what we're talking about. You cannot be productive in life without energy. It requires energy. And sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, the energy is you're sitting on it, but it's got to be stirred. It's got to be revved up. When you look at a lawnmower sitting right there, and the lawnmower's just sitting there. But when you crank it, But when you crank it,
you preaching.
Listen,
You know
it'll
you're
go
preaching.
hard in the paint, right? You see, we have to do that in our spirit. You can't sit on the couch and get excited about starting a business. You need to stand up in your living room and be writing notes and have posters on your wall of all your great, the people who've been there, done that, and did it.
Right.
And you need to have chains on your wrist that remind you this gold chain means nothing to me. I mean, I could care less about gold, but my father wore this chain for 30 years. It motivates me to keep fighting. It motivates me to be a good person. It motivates me to stand in the gap. It reminds me that God is with me. It reminds me that my Father's with me. See, I've done something very simple to increase my personal productivity. This helped keep my mind focused on life. Just a simple little thing. It reminds me of who I am. It reminds me of who I come from. It reminds me of where I'm going. It reminds me of what's important, what's not important. It's a very simple thing, but it increases my personal productivity. You understand?
Yes.
We're talking about getting more out of life. Listen, we've worked hard for thousands of years.
Say it.
We've been tussling with 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hour, 90 hour work weeks in our lives. Tussling, struggling with back problems and hurting feet, and your eyes ain't quite right, and you ain't got health benefits, so you got to change jobs because you got a bad ball, all this other stuff. You got to find a way to lift your own spirit.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about taking better care of ourselves.
Yes.
You are not going to increase your personal productivity until you take better care of yourselves. If you are an athlete, you have to take special care of your feet. It's important that you wear good shoes and that you ventilate your feet. It's important that you powder your feet to keep the moisture off of your feet. It's important that you get massages to keep. If you're an athlete, you have to take special care of your feet. If you are go ahead, Jay.
No. What you said, then to show you the power of that, not just the athletes. Remember back in the times with Jesus, they was washing feet.
They was washing feet.
And they was walking. They had to do a lot of things that we ain't able to do. We was driving. We do things. They was walking.
Yes.
So you have to be able to take care of your feet. So I love that analogy because a lot of y'all be like, well, it's easy for y'all to say that, but let's go back where it's times where it wasn't that easy. And you had to walk so far that you had to take care of the things that got you there.
Right.
And that's your body and your feet.
Right.
And that's why I love that analogy.
Good shoes.
And now you're buying stuff because it's cute, but it hurts your feet.
Right.
Because you want to look good for your friends. Well, my whole thing is before you start looking good for somebody, make sure you're comfortable enough to be able to achieve your goal.
And let me tell you, Jay, when it comes to feet, because I work outside, I'm in the car business, right? That taking care of my feet is very important.
Right.
And I could buy the rawest dress shoes in the world, but if I'm tiptoeing by 3 o'clock,
That ain't good.
that's not taking care of myself.
No.
So now I need some shoes that's going to enrich my steps.
Say that.
That's going to make sure that I can walk on a cloud, and maybe I have to get an extra. In some shoes, I have to get that little extra cushion,
on the
right?
inside.
And some shoes I have to say no to,
Right.
because they got hard bottoms, or they don't have rubber traction
Or
on the bottom,
support,
or they
yeah.
don't have support, or whatever. You know what I mean? But in every single facet of your life, think about what is the step I can take to get the most out of this thing, right? You know, again, I'm in the car business, and people want to buy a car, and I ask them, well, what's your goal? What's your goal with a car? They said, well, we're going to buy a car, and probably in 3 years, we're going to buy another car. I said, oh, okay. So it don't really matter how much the car is. The only thing that matters is, can you afford the payment? And so let's just find the car. What kind of payment you looking for? Oh, you looking for that kind of payment? Well, this is the car that will support that payment. You like this car? Okay, then we're going to buy this car, right? Let's buy the car to support the payment, because you're going to upgrade it. You're going to have a new warranty. But if you're going to buy a car that's going to last for 10 years, then you need to do a little homework.
All day long.
You need to make sure that car has good safety records, and make sure it performs and it's reliable and gets good gas mileage. And you got to make sure that the seats don't wear out real fast and the leather ain't cheap. And, you got to do some investigation, because when you make that investment, you want it to last.
Right.
You want it to be productive for
Right.
long periods of time, right? We're trying to get the most out of life. And I'm going to tell you, my mind is just a little shift in the conversation here. I think getting the most out of life, if you're already working hard, that's a caveat.
Right.
If you're already working hard, getting more out of life requires expertise.
Ooh.
See, if you already wash your face good every day, and you're getting a special soap or something from Target, or order something from online, and you wash your face, and you want better looking skin, now you got to go research, and find that potion that's just right for your skin. Right. And so now I'm going to get more out of my daily skin treatment, because I've done the research to go find the best skin treatment. Now I got the best skin treatment, right? So I went some time ago. I wanted find me a special toothpaste that would take care of me, because I drink coffee. You know what I'm saying? I hit cigars, and so I'm always dealing with what we're dealing with. Right. So I said, I'm gonna buy a toothpaste that can make sure to take all the get my teeth nice and white and clean. Right. So I went and bought some active charcoal toothpaste. Okay. That active one brush is like brushing 5 times, because of it's absorbing the coffee stains off my teeth, right? And so now I found something where I can get 5 brushes out of 1 brush. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting more out of life, right? When it comes to my relationships,
oh Lord,
I have decided that if I pursue love, I'm going to end up like 75% of most people, and they end up falling out with the people they thought they were going to be in love with.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do, rather than pursuing love, I'm going to pursue the greatest part of that person. Okay. I'm going to pursue, it could be a friendship, it could be a lover, it could be just my confidant, my who I talk about business, or talk to on the phone, or text back and forth. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to receive the very best that they have to offer.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to pay much attention to the rest of the stuff. So I don't have to talk down about them. I don't have to judge them. I don't have to push them out of my life. I can just accept what they get. So now I have a systematic approach at how I manage my relationships.
Okay.
Every person who is on my life has taken up a very important space in my life and in my heart. And so if I'm going to give them that level of investment and that level of commitment, I need to make sure that they're worthy.
Ooh, I got that. I got you. You're not rushing it.
Right. Now I'm just getting what I'm doing is to make sure that I maximize my productivity in my relationships is I'm only going to have good people in my life.
Okay. I got that.
And I'm only going to receive the good that's worthy in my life. And everybody else, I'm going to have to, shun. I'm going to have to back away from, right? But that system causes me to make sure that I'm surrounded by good people. That's how I increase my personal productivity
yes.
in my relationships, right? There's so many different ways to do it, from, and in terms of taking care of your health, just take a vitamin a day.
Oh, yes.
You're not eating the food that would put the right nutrients in your body. And so how do you get all those nutrients? You take a multivitamin. The multivitamin ensures you get all of the nutrient, whether you eat the foods or not, right? So now I can increase my personal productivity and my health by making sure I have a vitamin that supplies all of my needs. Now I'm going to get all of my needs in spite of my diet. I'm going to get all of my needs taken care of in spite of my schedule. I'm going to get all of my needs taken care of in terms of my nutrients in spite of my rest. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
See, that's one of the things I love about the world where it is now. You can live a good life with very little.
Right. And
you can live a good life with very little. You don't have to have a lot of money. What you have to have is a sense of care for things and care for yourself. You ever notice somebody, your broke cousin or your broke aunt always show up for your birthday? They always call you when something go wrong. Yeah, they always in your corner. You can show love with very little. It just takes effort and intention and being smart about things, and I like to live that life of productivity. You know what I mean? That of personal productivity. In fact, my whole life is aligned with personal productivity because if you hadn't talked to me in a long time and you called me, I might not call you back. Right. And part of the reason is I nurture what's close to me. Right. And if it's not close to me, I don't really have much capacity for things out there. And it's not their fault. No. But it's the system that I use, and it's how I take care of myself and how I know that I'm taking care of this. Right. So one of the things Jay said that I really love is you have to know your gifts. If you're going to increase your personal productivity in life, you have to know what you're good at and know what you're not good at. And the things that you're good at, apply it and go hard in the paint. The things that you're not good at, find expertise. Oh my gosh. Now, find some help and fill in the gap.
I have to jump in on this one because you are so clear and to the point. And that's what's going to be hurtful in your journey. Okay. Right. Because to do what you're good at and your gift, that's a natural gift. All right. It's not going to just say easy, but you'll have a less resistance of a flow. Right. It's going to flow. You're going to do that. Right. But now you know what you're not. Take the time to start learning. And that way you get away from a fear. One of the things I'm going to tell you that self-sabotage is when you're scared of a certain thing that you're not good at. Not the fact that you're not capable. See, that's the problem because you're making it seem like you're handicapped and you can't. But you really need to get past your fear and start learning a little bit more. As you travel and you learn it gives you that sense of power. It gives you empowerment because now you don't have that uncertainty. So now you have that kink in that armor. All right, this is why you can't do it all on your own because you need somebody to help show you that you're not perfect, but guess what? You can be good at what you do. Yeah. But you might have to tweak what you do because your imperfect ways can get you aligned to be a better person, but he handicaps you for a reason. So you can go back to him.
Well, you can go back to him. Yeah.
He wants you to know if he gave it all to you, you will forget about him. Yeah. So now you have to align, and then you have to align with somebody to be honest with you. Yeah. Like Kraft. Kraft is a friend. I'm jealous. He can't be your friend. He mine. I'm my boy. You know why? Right. He'll be honest with you. Yeah. And when he sees certain things, he's gonna bring it out. And he's not that person to just dog you out. He will just say, "Hey, man, I don't see it that way." All right. Now, in that, you have to get out your feelings and ask him more questions. He ain't gonna always just give it all to you. He's willing to let you grow enough to realize what he's saying. Once you know he's saying some good stuff, all you got to do is hear that little intro. I'm letting him in. You know why? He gonna fill me with a lot of things that you have to gravitate to on your own pace. This man is very wise and he's willing to give you a lot. But he's not trying to overwhelm you. He ain't trying to change you. He's trying to tweak you to be the best you. And this is what he see. Yeah. Now that's what you call heavenly sent because at this point, it's not just you. I see the best in you, but if I don't say anything, I feel like I'm not giving my gift either.
Yeah, and you said something again so profound. There's a lot of profound statements in these dialogues. The things that you know, go get it. The things that you don't know, ask for help.
Yes,
Right.
Yes,
And
it helps.
and that can become almost a character flaw. You know, we see it in a lot of people's lives that an unwillingness to ask for help is something that will hurt you, and it'll hurt you over and over and over again because you keep going down these wrong paths, and a slight shift will put you on the right track. I brought that up to say that we should all probably be seeking mentorship.
Ooh.
And maybe mentorship in your business, maybe mentorship in your relationships, mentorship in whatever, whatever field you want to go in the music business. That what it would require is just a simple action upon your part to call somebody. Just pick up the phone and say, I'm thinking about starting a radio show. I know y'all been in business for 20 years. What would you say I should do? Or call somebody who has run a radio station, or call some, like there's no shortage of knowledge in the world about how to get things done. But there is a shortage of asking for help.
It is.
That's the problem. The problem is that all the knowledge is here. All the wisdom is here. The question is, are you seeking it? Because it's easy to get to. Google made it almost like, ABC, right?
Yeah, it made it
Google
very
made it
fundamental.
Anything you're dealing with, from a skin rash to something, sound funny on your car to your computer, Google probably can help you with it. Right?
I got a code reader. It gives me a code. I didn't know the code. My niece said, just Google it.
Just Google the code.
So I just put the code in it. It came right on up. It's like, wait a minute. My niece ain't even good with cars, bro.
Right.
She know I got every little tool there is, right? So when the code thing came up, normally mine would tell you kind of what the code is, right? So this one gave me a very vague one. I put the code number in. It didn't go vague. It went more extensive.
Yes.
So it's like, wait a minute, because this is the young to the old. I'm old school where I plug something in and I'm getting the data. She just know how to use new technology to get more information.
Right.
You put them together, and it wasn't like she made me foolish. She just made me more wise to be able to do more things. And that's what we need to be more careful of, because I feel like you feel like it's always going to be done your way, because I invested the money in the code reader before I can find out what it is.
Right.
She just invested in technology because she has to use it for her own job.
And listen, I think that's a great idea. How do you increase your personal productivity when you have the information highway at your fingertips? Like, every move you make could be your best move. And that's really what it's all about, right? If you, no matter what you're dealing with, and you get on this information superhighway, you can find the best doctors. You can find the best advice. You could find the best restaurants. You could find the restaurants with the best ratings.
Yep.
You could find the best mechanics. If you're interested in joining a group about the aquatic world and mammals or wildlife, you can go and sit amongst those people. Like,
whatever you want to do.
There's no reason to really be making long-term errors in our life anymore.
I agree.
It's like we've reached a place where it's not that somebody hasn't already done it. It's not that we don't know how to get it done. Whatever it is you want to do, you want to build a bridge, you want to start an organization, you want to raise kids, you have some sickly thing in your body, and you're looking for some home methodology to get it done, to get over it, or to fix it, or there's no shortage of knowledge. But if you're not seeking the knowledge, then you're going to be left behind. And there's no room to make 2 or 3 errors in buying a car. You need to buy the car and buy the right car the first time. You can't afford to make those errors.
Nope.
And if you do make those errors, it's because you did something outside of what we call the norm. Right? I've met people, they found this box truck for $10,000 and they took it for a little, 10-minute test drive. They came back, they paid the man $10,000 and got the title. And next week, the drive was on the way to Tennessee on the side of the road.
Yep.
And guess what? There's no recourse because all the buying process is as is. As is, no warranty. So he made a buying mistake. You should never buy a pre-owned vehicle without an inspection.
Right.
Why would you buy a machine and you don't get it inspected by an expert?
And I tell you, if you
Right?
can't even find an expert, buy a code reader.
People buy a
rate
new
stuff.
car. That's what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Right?
Everybody might not be able
Right,
to do
or
that.
buy a
But
warranty.
If
Right?
get a warranty if you can. If not, put a code reader on there. And again, it levers some things because people can clear some codes, but most codes come back.
Yeah, they come back.
And that's what they
come
do.
back.
They try to get over.
Yeah, I've met people buy cars that couldn't pass emissions.
Yep. Because of that reason.
Yeah. Now it just so happens that the law states you can't sell a car that don't pass emissions. So
That's the limit law.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So now
that's a blessing.
nowadays, if I sold you a car and you need a catalytic converter, then I got to take the car back.
Yep.
Right.
Because you
But-
selling wrong.
Yeah. But what are we talking about here in this conversation? We're talking about minimizing mistakes.
Right.
And increasing your personal productivity by utilizing good wisdom,
And
good
data.
research, asking questions,
Yep.
asking for help, seeking more knowledge,
Yes.
seeking more answers, seeking for solutions. Before, if you're standing at here and I tell you in 72 hours, I'm going to meet you on the top of that mountain.
Mhm.
What's the first thing you do? Do you just strike out and head toward the top of the mountain? Or do you maybe get a map and figure out if there's a trail? Do you maybe get in your car and see if there's some side roads?
Mhm.
Do you maybe see if there's some waterways you need to overcome? Will you need some swimming equipment, or would you need 3 days worth of food? Or is it 2 miles up that mountain, or is it 500 feet?
Mhm.
Like you should
Do I
probably
need oxygen when I get up to the top?
Yeah.
Might be passed
right.
out.
I get up there and pass out. Right? Am I going to deal with some insects or monsters? Or
Thank
will I
you.
need to spend the night? Do I need some food? Do I need some water? Like, you don't just strike out up the mountainside, right? See, listen, the difference between the young man and the wise man is that as soon as the race begins, the young man gonna strike out up the mountainside, and he just gonna run until he run into the tree or the stream or whatever, right? The wise man gonna say, aha, I remember George did this in 1942.
Mhm.
And he said, all you got to do is walk a half mile down there, and then you'll have a straight shot right to the top of the hill. And you'll never have to cross any waterway. You'll have sunlight the whole way. And they got some restaurants up there that you can stop and get you some lunch and
Yeah. Here you starving, going through thorn bushes, going through things
Right.
that you don't need to.
right.
But you feel like this is
Right.
the best way because why? Because that's just what I
Because
see.
you ain't think about it.
Yeah.
That's what the bottom line is.
And now you in a position where you ain't at your
Right.
best.
Listen, and none of us can afford those mistakes.
No.
And we spend a lot of time on this show. We got to close here in just a moment, but we spend a lot of time on this show talking about relationships.
Yeah, we do.
And I don't think any of us who have got a little grasp on life, got a little meat in the game, got a little stake in the game. I don't think any of us who got a little stake in the game got time for 3, 4, 5 years worth of bullshit. And so one of the ways to increase your personal productivity is to find love without being in love. Right?
And let me have
So,
fun with that
right?
one because he said find love without being in love. And a lot of times that means start looking at a person's character and what a person is really bringing. Because I hate to say this, here in Atlanta, I like to say it's a lot of fake people. And there's a lot of people that think they know scams and they think they know people and they know how to do things. Well, the saddest thing is you learning off of a false pretense than learning from a greatness. If you meet a good person, quit your foolishness. Learn a person from where they're at and not be where you were, because that stuff that you learn don't really need to exist. You ain't being your best you if you dealing with con artists and all the rest. The best you know that you can be a great person, a person that can aid somebody. So now if I align with somebody that's a good person, then I already see that's a person I can allow in. But I can't log into some fakeness. I can't do this that I don't know. I want to know you, and I want to know you. I don't want to know what you think you want. I don't want to read a profile what you say you want.
Right.
You might not even be that damn person that you're talking about, because you giving me some lines that you done heard on some kind of podcast show.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you talking what you ain't understanding. I know about a narcissist. You don't probably really know, because you're not a doctor to do. But I promise you, if you can come more real and be with a person that is real, I promise you it's a lot less headache, because right now it's scary.
Let me give you one last point here as we go out. And I know you'll agree with this, Jay.
All right, what you got?
Let's call this the number one way to increase your personal productivity.
Okay.
Never make the same mistake twice. And I'm gonna close out with that. This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name's Craftmatic. This is my boy
Smooth
Jay. And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. Again, just our opportunity to be leaders in our own community. We hope you've enjoyed the show. It's just real talk about real life. And, we hope it's edifying to your spirit and that you grew from it. That you got some real nuggets to take on to tomorrow and into tonight's rest.
Yes.
We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live. Like, share, subscribe, come back, bring your friends and family. This is the one place where you get fed. And so, we kind of mix entertainment and reality, all in the mix, but it's all about bar talk. When you have that first drink, you let your hair down a little bit and you start talking about what's wrong. In other words, you let it go so we can start to deal with it. And so we thank you for being with us tonight. We never forget, folks, that we do this because we love you. We appreciate you. And with that,
we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.